So, who wants to play some pinball? Because it is time once again for F It, We Pinball, the show where I play pinball video games, and I'm not necessarily great at them, but they are fun, and it's fun to check all these games out because there's a lot out there I haven't played. Now, today's game, I think most people have played a version of this. It's called Full Tilt Pinball. It's from Maxis, and it's most famous for its Space Cadet table, which was included in Windows 95, I think they started. I think it was in the Windows 95 Plus pack, and then it continued being in there until like XP. And I believe it was made for that because they wanted some sort of game to include on Windows to show off like, whoa, this is the future. And then they got spun off into its own thing. Hold on, let me pull this up on the capture. This being an old game, it's a little funky with the capturing. I did install like a patch that's supposed to make it work better on modern Windows. I think all it does is make the top of the window get drawn properly, because what happens with each of these excuse me, what happens with each of these is they start like half off screen, which is odd. Now, I think originally, like when you install this off disk, which I have on my retro PC, but that's not working right now, you get like a little launcher that's like, hey, what table do you want to play? But they're all separate exe files, so that's what we're launching directly right now, so you won't be seeing that little launcher. It doesn't really matter. And I guess it auto-pauses when you're not in the menu. It's kind of loud, maybe? Let's turn that down. How's that for the volume? Is that alright? Also, how many of you didn't know that there was music in this? Because it's turned off by default for some reason. I remember reading years ago that there was some vague connection to Epic Pinball, like maybe one of the same people worked on it, but I can't find that now. And I remember finding that interesting because the flippers and the ball sprite look kind of similar to Epic Pinball. So, hold on, let me pause this so I can turn down the music on my end. It's a little loud. I also remember at that time, like, I didn't know you could full screen this either on the old, Windows pack-in, which is kind of annoying when you have a high resolution screen, because this, like, what is this, pinball for ants? But the size right now, I do have it in a window, but I guess it's like scaled up with whatever scaling stuff Windows uses now, because it's pretty decent to look at. It's fine, pretty forgiving so far. We got this frickin' Who Wants to Be a Millionaire logo in the middle for some reason. Also, this music is just pretty cool. I think I might still prefer when there's just like little jingles and stuff when you do things, like on a lot of real tables and in like Pinball Dreams, but just having a nice groove going is that's fine too. How can we be expected to score with pinball if it can't even fit inside the cabinet? What? What do you mean? If the pinball table is small, obviously the ball is small too. What do you mean? Those are some pretty good sounds. I like that. I wonder if the music was off by default because, like, Microsoft or, or Maxis or whoever just knew, like, Yo, people are gonna be playing this at like work and school. We don't want to rat them out by default. You know, I just want to get tired of the Minesweeper and the Free Cell. They go here. Is this the Toho sound font I've loaded up? I heard those pianos and I was like, why does this sound like Toho for a moment? I don't remember what sound font I'm using. Oh shoot, you were furthering the reference. I've actually never seen Zoolander, but it's just everyone always quotes the like School for Ants thing. So I know that part. It's kind of like how half the phrases I absorbed through like cultural osmosis as a kid, I didn't realize for years and years that they were all from The Simpsons, because I didn't watch The Simpsons when I was little. I was like, what the fuck? I've been quoting this fucking show that I have never watched this whole time. I feel like this isn't the first time that I've like made a reference and then immediately got like exposed as not actually done it. Like I remember one time when I was like, you know, doing a jokey rant about something, and it was just like, I get no respect around here, and then someone called me Rosie Dangerfield and I didn't get the reference. Also, when I went downstairs to get water, holy crap, there's so much snow out there. No wonder it's been taking so long on that. Like, goddamn. I could move to California or something. Oh, hey, no. Oh, that was you? That was you, D-Bomb? Okay. I know someone said Rosie Dangerfield when I did that. Shower zone cleared. I like the shower zone. It's got nice background ambience. I always liked showers so much that like my mom would always get mad at me for being in the shower for ages. And then at some point after I moved in with Noth, I started having to like drag myself in the shower because it was just like, man, this is so annoying to do. I don't want to shower, but I have to. Space Cat. There you go. Now this, okay, you can't see the high score pop-up because it's just a freaking Windows thing. That was kind of like a weird thing for a little while. In like games for Windows, that they would just have like the Windows UI would just intrude on it. Like, I don't know, have you guys ever seen the PC port of Suikoden 1? It is bizarre because you've got like, you know, the normal screen from the PlayStation, but then all the UI shit is like just in like Windows like dialogues and stuff. It's fucking nuts. It's so ugly. Yeah, I think it was like Japan only, or maybe there was like a Chinese version or something. But it does exist. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just like for a while it was like, yo, games on Windows? Whoa, you can APIs, man. Libraries. And they just kind of were like, we gotta integrate this with the Windows UI. And it's like, no, you don't. If I'm playing a video game, the last thing I want to be reminded of is the fucking operating system. Don't make playing a video game feel like being in an office. I want to be immersed into fantasy land. But whatever, man. Alright, so I'm gonna have to launch each of these tables separately. I don't know if the capture will automatically... Yeah, okay, so... half of it's white because it launches half off screen and I don't know why. It just does that. Japan got Persona 1 PC? Was that actually Persona 1? Wasn't there also just like a... Oh no, that was just Shin Megami Tensei got like a unique Windows game or something, right? You got Raving Rabbids on PC. I'm so sorry. Alright, no plunger here, just... I feel like pirates is like a classic theme you can put in anything. Oh boy. We got a talking parrot. Or cockatiel. You owe me a Coke? Why do you owe me a Coke? What have I forgotten this time?
Yellow belly.
I always like when they have magnets on pinball tables, because, like, I'm always, like, kinda impressed in real life that it works as well as it does. Like, I always expect that, like, half the time the magnet won't be able to grab the ball well enough and it just goes off. But it always works. I'm always like, yeah! Oh, I said it first. Is that like a thing where you like owe someone a Coke? I'm not familiar with that one.
Break the atmosphere!
Came in for rabbit figurines as a bonus. Ew. Claw would make a good pinball table. I'm sure if frickin' Monolith had made a pinball game, there would have been Claw. I guess it might have been like an issue with the ESRB if they tried to have Claw and Blood tables in the same thing. Was that an issue for Balls of Steel in the Duke Nukem table? I am not doing so hot at this one. Alright, let's give that one another shot. I'm gonna pay a bit more attention to what's going on. So I think you get some, what is that, like a bonus or something that you get when you launch? That randomly gets selected. Yeah, there's a lot more, compared to Space Cadet, there's a lot more stuff that is just like, forces the ball downward, which makes the table more difficult to play. Like, Space Cadet is pretty comfy, and this table kind of wants you dead, I think. Also, what is that art on the right? The dude with the torch is having problems, man. Aye! Projected Iron Maiden album cover. I got those upper flippers, and they're pretty difficult to use so far. You'd really need a lot of momentum on that top right section to even be able to... Alright, whenever tables really easily put you into the gutter, I get a bit annoyed because I'm like, I can't do anything about that. That's just physics happening. And you just kill me. You just make me lose my ball. Okay, that was on me though. That one was my fault. Skullduggery. Oh. Alright, one more try on this. Like, even it coming down from the top, I still can't use that flipper, so... I don't know. I completely forgot about nudging, and then I immediately tilt the machine. No, I'm sorry! Oh, it only makes you lose the one ball, though. That's nice. That's nice of them. Spell Skullduggery to start mode. I can't even do that because my balls drain so fast. So I can't even get to the actual main part of this table. Also, the way the letters are like divvied up is weird because it's like, all right, you got Sku, you got Ldug, and you got Uri. You know, Noth, there is Doom Pinball. Yeah, I don't really like this table. Next one is Dragon's Keep. So, not the music I would expect for something called Dragon's Keep. Oh, you were trying to... the arch file makes the ball go. If that is not a real feature in Doom Pinball, I'm gonna be mad. Like, I wouldn't really associate, like, this like, jazzy thing with... with, like, a Dragon's Keep. Oh, come on! It's the Funk Dragon. Hit fire lizards to start playing. Which ones are the fire lizards? How do I hit them? Those look like spiders or something. But it's plural, so it's gotta be those. I am sucking ass right now. Because I don't see anything else, I just see the dragon up there. At first I thought maybe they meant him, like it was like Arabian Nights where you hit the djinn. Oh, come on! But I guess those spider-looking things are supposed to be lizards. They do not look like lizards to me, but... Alright, so that was a disaster. Let's try that again. Kinda hard to... What the fuck? Is that's gotta be a magnet, right? Like, what the hell's happening here? Oh, whoa! Put ball in dragon's mouth. I'm trying to slay the dragon. I'm doing my best. Take my balls of steel! Why is no one taking my little metal ball seriously? Wizard's Fury, yes, left, no, right. Yes, sure. Put ball in well and hit spell targets. Where's the well? Where's the well? No! That doesn't make me happy at all!
It's for you.
Football and armor and gargoyle kickouts. Okay. Where are those? Jackpot? Okay, cool. But, no! Come on! That fucking outlane again! To defeat the Funk Dragon, you must also show your funk. Alright, I guess I'll stop showering. I can show him the funk of 40,000 years.
Another time.
Come on, that one right on middle. I think this one really wants you to use the nudge to achieve anything. Why do the fire lizards woo? I'm so confused by everything that's going on here. No!
It's for you.
Ball save! I don't know if the music is more basic or repetitive, but I think the genre makes it stand out more, that it's not really going anywhere. Like, this type of music is not as much, like, conducive to listening to the same thing for long. Why is it the same exact woo from Soten? It's just a stock noise, it's in everything. Hey, you can always turn it off, just put on some, you know, well, heck, you can put on Soten if you want. Some Soten music and play a pinball. I would love it if there was Castlevania pinball. That would be so cool. Steal gems from Dragon. Okay, ball saved. How do I do that? How do I steal the gems? Get the gems, Bentley Bear! Well, I think Space Cadet's definitely the best one here. But we actually have 3 more tables to look at because there was a Full Tilt 2, and as far as I can tell, it's the same engine and everything, and the only difference is that it has an option for CD music, which I can't get to work, so we're sticking with the MIDI. Oh man, Comic Sans. Now that's Maxis. That is some Sims 1 era Maxis right there. Got a very different angle on the table here. I meant when you play, you can make it be Soten. Jeez. You get your Full Tilt pinball from like archive.org or something. I'm not a huge fan of this angle. That seems like it could make it hard to see what's going on when it gets back there. But we'll find out, I guess. It seems a lot smaller. I don't know if that's also just the angle, but it seems like it's a very squat table. I like the reflection, though. I guess maybe this is a different engine. Maybe I was misinformed on that. I like all the ramps and lanes going on here. That's pretty fun. Next mission, make crop circles. I really would have preferred if you kept the dot matrix display that you had before instead of fucking Comic Sans just kind of like being there. Just kind of floating in the nothing. Like that's... I don't know why you would do that. That's such a downgrade. Like, that makes it look really amateurish. Like, the rest of it's fine, and then just this. And it's not even because it's Comic Sans specifically, right? Like, okay, back then that font wasn't so reviled, and... But it's just the fact that, like, it's just text. It's not, like, part of any, like, UI element. There's no real HUD. It's just floating there. So that's kind of lame. Maybe if EA ever remembers that they own this, they can re-release it and fix that. But they probably won't, because they couldn't even fix The Sims. What? What the fuck is that a mechanic? Why don't you just drop the ball out and just, nah, just kidding. Here it is. What's the point of that? Gear lowered, gear lowered, gear lowered! The fucking score just pops up on places like you're playing Final Fantasy and hitting monsters. Like, what the fuck? Or Donkey Kong, I don't know. But yeah, this one is more chill to play. This table. I don't feel like I have to do as much to have fun, but like, I guess I gotta read the manual in this one, because it's just like, abduct humans, and I'm like, okay, how? Like, at least Dragon's Keep was telling me, hit this thing to do, you know, to like, slay the dragon, or get the gems, Bentley Bear, or whatever, for the most part. But it seems like some video pinball games are just like, well, you know, you don't have to just, like, have a machine that's self-explanatory enough for someone to just go up and play it. You can make them read the manual, so we don't have to work at making things intuitive. I heard that on the Sims re-release, they just, like, took a fan patch and didn't credit anyone. Was that true, or was that just were people making that up? Okay, I guess I did the missions because it's changing the thing, so I guess I made crop circles, I don't know. And casements, whoa, we're getting kinky up in here, what the hell? Yeah, that little... there was pinball in FF15. I never got far enough for that, I guess. FF15 had some stuff I really liked in it that made me go, yo, FF is back, baby! And then, I didn't really like just, like, the basic gameplay. The combat just kind of pissed me off. And then Prompto set off a firebomb in a cave and we all died, and it was like, yeah, maybe this It's, it was just hold button. If you want to talk about holding button in FF15, why the fuck do they have a car in the game? You just hold a button and it goes. FF15 is so weird because, like, they cancel Versus 13, but then they took parts of it and then made it very clear on the reveal, oh, we turned Versus 13 into 15, but the people who were excited for Versus 13 were like, what the fuck is this? And then also you immediately make it clear, like, oh yeah, this is totally the same game that we were working on. We didn't throw everything out, even though they did throw most of it out, which means that now you have a rushed game that was in development for super long. And I feel like that's always like a death sentence for a game when it's like, rush this thing out because it looks like it's been in development for a long time, but it actually hasn't. And, yeah, I feel like FF15 could have been a lot better, and it makes me kind of sad because the parts I really like, I do really like. People are excited for Versus 13. I frequently see people be like, fuck you, Square, for canceling that version of the game. I guess they liked, like, the atmosphere where it was all dusky and stuff. Not that that would have been the entire game, I don't know. There's a developing genre of games that are like, we are sad Versus 13 never came out, so we made our own. Like, what? What games? I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, this one is, what is this called? Okay, Captain Hero, it says at the top. Got off the music. Was Tabata the guy who got forced out right before they could do the last DLC, making the game forever incomplete? Yeah, good job, Square. Good job. Very, 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 very cool. Batman? Whatever's Towers sending emails? I like that it's just like, it just has the text just telling you what the fuck everything is, and I'm like, I feel like there's better ways to do this! You know, maybe this is sunk cost fallacy talking, but I feel like with everything that went into FF15, you really could have just at least finished the last freaking DLC. Like, it was just the one. Sure, we'll battle a mad scientist. Because now, not only did you have this very expensive thing that maybe wasn't great or received well, but now it's also just not complete. And you have to read a fucking novel to get the end of that story arc. Good job, idiot. This is a little obnoxious. This table. But FF15 also just kind of feels like they were just shoving shit in there to make it look like it was incorporating modern trends, which wasn't FF about being fucking weird and trailblazing. Then they're like, twice in FF they've been like, we're gonna pretend to have an open world, but we don't actually though. Although I guess FF15 still has more of one than fucking FF7 Remake. Ugh. Can we just change the subject? FF16 is really good. Well, the problem with FF13 was that they took out everything that makes an RPG and didn't replace it with everything. And then Also, instead of actually telling a story, they just put a bunch of lore in an in-game fucking wiki. And apparently, like, a significant amount of development time was spent even trying to figure out how to make the team communicate, which, like, holy shit. How does that happen? Were you fucking college students? Okay, this fucking music makes my teeth itch, so we're gonna move on to the last table here.
So, Igor, this is where it begins.
Monster!
Let us proceed.
I can't see the full title of this one because the the window title is not showing up because of funky Windows things, but it's called Monster.exe on the thing. It says Monster up there, so we're gonna call it Monster. Alright, this one seems fairly simple.
Let us
Alright, so having grown up with Epic Pinball, a lot of other pinball video games are always gonna lose on quantity, if nothing else, right? But, you know, if there's some really good tables in there, then it's gotta be worth something. But, like, the atmosphere here also just doesn't make me want to hang out and play these tables for a long time. Apart from, again, Space Cadet. Whereas in Epic Pinball, it was like, even when you were playing one of the crummy tables, it was still just like, yeah, I'm hanging out in a cool pinball club or something. Except for, what was the one with the really annoying music? The like, retro table? With the really shrill pianos. Like, that one can go fuck off, but a lot of them, it really was just like, yo, I can just sit here and enjoy the atmosphere even if I'm sucking ass.
So, Igor, this is where it begins.
Oh, okay, it's the title apparently, because the window title showed up, it's Mad Scientist. So, alright. We were fighting the Mad Scientist before when we were Ant-Man. Ant-Man. God, just the entire idea of, like, the at being some sort of important symbol is just so fucking, like, late 90s .com bubble. The internet is an exciting place. It's the 90s. Everything's gonna be okay. There's a couple more wars to figure out here and there, but, like, once we figure that out, like, we're gonna have world peace. We're gonna figure out unemployment. It's all gonna be okay, man. And then it really wasn't. God, I'm just making myself sad today. I don't know why I'm doing that. My apologies. Some people in the 90s declared the end of history. Ah, so it's their fault. They jinxed it. Talk more about FF16. Yeah, I like FF16, and I'm hoping that Square isn't gonna pull like a Sega or Weezer and be like, alright, we have this thing that's pretty good, and then instead of iterating on that, we're gonna do something completely new and fuck it all up again. Because, you know, FF16, it's not perfect. You can put more in there. Like, I would absolutely love to see a game that kind of iterates on those ideas the way that in the ATB era, you know, there were new mechanics and things being added, but the base was still kind of there until they were at the point of like, yeah, we've kind of done everything we can here. Let's start over, right? And then, you know, FF10 was turn-based but didn't have ATB because you can switch out your party members and all that shit, which was cool. But yeah, with FF16, I'm like, the movement and combat is cool. I would love to see what else they can add to it. Or what they can do, like, a little differently to, like, make that continue to be exciting instead of just, like, throwing it all out. I also think there are some issues with the story. Like, I don't know, maybe they should have Ishikawa write the next one.
Or not the third switch.
Joe's brain and lube. What? Why my cube? Sorry, there's talking about FF and there's just some weird shit going on over here. Oh. Whatever that was, it ended. And, like, FF16 does have a few, like, vestigial kind of things where it's like, yeah, it's this very action-y game, but also it's an RPG, so we're gonna have... You can buy bigger, better swords, but, like... It kind of feels like a formality. So, you know, obviously FF16 has the whole thing with the primal powers. So, you know, maybe if that's not in the next one, then you can have it instead be like, what if there's, like, all these different weapons and equipment that you can get, and you can, like, customize the way that you play through that? Like, you know, just one thing they can do. Johnny, hello. Yeah, I'm almost done with the gameplay, but I'm having fun yapping, so I'll probably be streaming for a bit longer. This table's alright, I don't really like the music, but otherwise it's fine. Like, I think one of the things I really want in a pinball table is that, like, it doesn't immediately just push your shit in. Like, I like the baseline just being like, I can fuck around a bit and just get my jollies from that, and then I become interested in figuring out, like, okay, how do I win this table, right? Like, what are, like, the quests or whatever, you know, the different, like, objectives that you can do. And some of these tables in Full Tilt are better at that than others. Kingdom Hearts Comet is really fun. That'd be cool to have an FF. I don't think they should do that, because that's looking backwards. Like, once again, that's not what I want FF to do. And well, they already have a series for that. It's called Kingdom Hearts. All they gotta do is fucking make those games more frequently. Or even if they just do, like, some sort of, like Kingdom Hearts is probably really annoying to, like, get all the behind-the-scenes bullshit sorted because Disney. But you could... What if you made some sort of, like, side series for that didn't have the Disney stuff in it, but you could still have the gameplay? And then, you know, you can... Nomura can start all over with this sandbox of weird lore. And they could just let him keep doing that forever so he doesn't bother anyone with his stupid bullshit. But yeah, basically, like, I'd like it if FF17 iterated on what 16 was doing, while still having, like, original stuff that will kind of make people go like, oh, that's something new. The same way that FF just did in the 90s, I guess.
You'll hate me, don't you?
Isn't Kingdom Hearts without Disney just Final Fantasy? Listen, you've never played any of these games? So I'm gonna forgive you for that, but they don't play alike at fucking all, alright? So no, it's not. What is this fucking music? Okay, I think that's enough of that. I think some of those tables were good, and then other ones were maybe not so much. I think maybe the sound font I had for those MIDIs also didn't help. Like, maybe if the CD music was working, that would sound less obnoxious for Full Tilt 2's tables, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the Toho sound font. Why would Square be doing that? Like, maybe a long time from now, you're gonna get the point where it's like, everyone realizes, like, yo, wait, actually, this is really good, and then they could do that, but there's this rumor going around that, like, Sonic Team is making a remake of Sonic Heroes of all fucking things. Because someone saw something being made in the Unreal Engine that was Sonic Heroes related. It was probably just for Shadow Generations. But it's just like, why would they do that? Why would they remake that if they, instead of like the adventure games or something? Because Sonic Heroes fucking blows! They'd have to completely redo everything. It'd have to be a completely different game for it not to suck ass. You have a soft spot for Heroes? Well, you also like Riders, so sure. No, I don't like Heroes. I really don't. For me, that's where it all went wrong with Sonic for a long time. Riders is the best racing game ever. Alright, tone it down! It's not the best racing game ever. Even if I will admit that maybe I just fucking suck at Riders, alright? There's no way you can be like, that's the best racing game in the world. No, I refuse to accept that. There are many racing franchises that would like to have a word with you on that one. How can it be the best when Scunny Card exists? Yeah, no, first of all, I would probably put, like, every Mario Kart above Sonic Riders. And that's not even getting into just, like, you know, straight up racing games, like the Need for Speed and Test Drive and all those kinds of series. Forza, Burnout. I can name racing games all day, and a lot of them will be better than fucking Sonic Riders. Yeah, there you go, Midnight Club. The captions capitalized that. They knew I was talking about the game. I was not expecting that. I see like the captions come out in OBS, and sometimes I just glance over to see what it does, and it's fun. But yeah, Final Fantasy. And also, you know, maybe if they keep the same base for a while, then it won't take fucking forever for a new mainline game to come out. Like, I get that, you know, the whole AAA development is just too fucking long, and, you know, I absolutely agree with that whole meme that's like, I want worse-looking games. But I imagine that if they make a game now using what they did for FF16 as the start, it would take a lot less time than FF16 did. I'm gonna stream early. Okay, so you're heading off? Alright. I'll probably raid you when I'm done here then. Yeah, honestly, like, I would like to just see a series of games, whether it's AAA or indie or anything in between, to come out frequently, because it seems like the only things that come out frequently are just like low effort bullshit, where it's just like, hey, it's the same sports game again, but we updated the rosters. Because being a fucking sports otaku is socially acceptable or something. Because even with like indie games where it's like, back in the day, a game like this could have been made in less than a year. It takes super fucking long, and I don't entirely know what's different there. I guess part of it is just like, I assume a lot of indie studios that want to avoid the crunch, which was definitely always real. But still, like, you'll get like some indie hit, and then it takes forever and fucking ever to get a sequel. And I'm just like, yo, if this game's good, I will happily take sequels that have like small iterations. I will happily take something that like does what Mega Man used to do. I will also happily take something taking a little longer than Mega Man used to do, but you know, just like every, I don't know, 2 years? Is that like not feasible? Every 2 years getting a game in a cool series? And it's not like hugely different every time, and they just add little things and improve upon it, just iterate. Like maybe I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like it. If you have a team that can put together one game, you can continue putting together and more games. You know, I don't know. Or maybe it's just because like DLC is a thing now, so things, if you just want to iterate, you don't have to make a sequel. You can just keep making DLC. Especially because a lot of indie games aren't that expensive, so there's not like a huge threshold to get in. Like, it's not the same thing as like when Sega was like, what if we just keep stapling things on at a Genesis? And then they immediately just like shrink their own market by doing that, because you have to own a Genesis and then also these other things. What do you guys think? Nope. OBS is weird sometimes. I try to drag something and then it's just like, oh, you want to drag this thing that's not even turned on, right? You want to drag this invisible thing somewhere? I'm just like, no. Why would I want to drag something I can't even fucking see? I don't even know what it is. Like, let me select a thing in the source list and then just have the mouse drag that, even if I do click on something. Like, unless I specifically click on a thing, I guess it thinks I'm specifically clicking on a thing. This is a fun thing with computers, right? They just do what they're told. So when something doesn't work properly, it really is just a matter of like, yeah, someone didn't think about that when they were making this. So, pinball. Do any of you have specific pinball games that you would like me to stream? Because I am always adding things to the list. I'm always open to more ideas for this series, because it can go on as long as I have pinball games to play. Which is, you know, finite by nature, but also there's probably more than I have listed out there. Especially because some of them just have weird, non-indicative names. And I'll just be like, you know, even if I see it listed somewhere, I won't know it's a pinball game. Happy to see me play Space Cadet. Yeah, I chose this specifically to be like the first pinball stream of 2025, because it's like so many, you know, like most people that are gonna watch my streams will have played Space Cadet, and maybe a bunch of them don't know that it was like sort of this demo for a bigger thing. So it was kind of cool to check that out, even though Space Cadet was still the best table. So One I'd like to do soon is Alien Crush on a TurboGrafx PC engine. Because that's going to come up in PC Engine Roundup, and I'd like to give it its due first. I mentioned 3D Ultra Ball 2 Creep Night once. I don't often because it's a lot of words. Yeah, 3D Ultra Pinball was like this ongoing series, wasn't it? Like they just released... Was it like one table at a time that they released? I don't really know anything about it, but I remember looking for just like pinball video games, and it was just like this fucking laundry list of just like 3D Ultra Pinball, 3D Ultra Pinball. No, it was 3? Let me look this out. Okay. Okay, yeah, it seems like they generally do 3 tables, but like as the series go along, they all get like more involved. So like this one, if 3D Ultra Pinball The Lost Continent, it says that it's actually 16 tables, but they're in 3 sectors. So I don't know if you like select them within that. I guess we'll find out when we play that. But yeah, you know, that should keep me busy for a while. It doesn't sound like I could do all of those in one stream like I have with, you know, Full Tilt here, or when I did 2 of the 21st Century, or when I did Pokemon Pinball, both games in one stream. Like, yeah, here's pretty neat. And hell, maybe when there's an improved version of Sonic Spinball through the disassembly, I will, you know, do a reprise stream of that. Because if they can make that game play better, and it's, like, balanced properly, unlike the kind of hacky stuff I was doing, then... I don't know, I would really like it if there was a version of Sonic Spinball that doesn't piss me off. Magical Bumper. I have not heard of this one. Magical Bumper. Oh, Google is not... Macadam Bumper, okay. Did you get auto-corrected there? Video Pinball Simulation Construction Set for Atari ST and MS-DOS. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into this one more, but it's going on the list. Apparently, it's also known as Pinball Wizard, which, like, could you have a more generic name for your pinball game? I mean, I guess if you just call it Pinball, like Nintendo did. So I'm still in the mode of, like, I don't really entirely know what I'm doing stream-wise. Maybe since Noth was like, you know, stop trying so hard to be entertaining, and that flipped the switch, maybe they'll stick, you know? And I can just stream more again without fucking freaking out. But we'll see, of course, just day by day, especially because I'm working on a big drawing project at the moment. So, you know, that's a day job thing. That's going to take a week or 2 to finish, so I might not stream as much. But I would like to start Quake 2 soon. That's kind of where my head is at. I would like to do that. I would like to do the Gayham 2024 pack for Doom. I hope that's good. Or is he being yourself as entertainment, remember? Yeah, that's something I do have to remember. Because, like, me and self-esteem are a weird combo. For a while, when I was a kid, I had just this fucking massive ego, just, like, huge head. And, then it turned out that, you know, not only was I not as awesome as I thought, but also, you know, it made me kind of annoying to be around, so... So then I just went hard in the opposite direction, and now every time that I'm like, it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, no, I'm pretty good at this stuff. People seem to like being around me because they keep coming to my streams. And also, you know, when you're doing something like this, when you're doing something creative, you kind of just gotta do your own initiative sometimes, because people won't always tell you what they want to see. Sometimes they don't even know what they want to see, so you got to come up with stuff. And that's when you can that's when you can fall into the trap of pressuring yourself way too much. So don't do that. Don't be like me. From our perspectives, our Rosie stream always brighten our day. Aww, you guys. Jeez. Yeah, Quake 2, SMS Roundup is going to be the next roundup. It's 1988. And I'd like to maybe start Commander Keen Goodbye Galaxy soon. I'm probably going to be a bit rusty on that because I played episode 4 recently, which is the first part of Goodbye Galaxy, and there was just like stuff I completely didn't remember. I'm just like, how is this happening? This is like one of the first video games I ever played, and I did like beat the entire Keen series only a few years ago, so how the hell do I not remember this stuff? So I might be a little crap at that. But I probably won't get too salty, because it's generally fairly consistent in how things work and the controls are good. You know, John Carmack programmed it, so last Sunday was a million times better watching NES Roundup. Oh, I will put that comment up on my wall and remind myself when I'm not sure about things. Yeah. There's so many games I want to play. There's so many games I want to play, and yet, when it comes down to it, it's always kind of scary to do it. But, you know, maybe with all of you on my side, I can find the power. Are you gonna do Keen Dreams? I will do Keen Dreams after Goodbye Galaxy, because even though it was developed first and maybe released first, I'm a little unclear on that because shareware. It's not the way I want to introduce people to the Galaxy engine, because it's weird and a little jank. And, you know, when I was a kid, Keen Dreams is such a freaking weird game. It's not great, but it has a special place in my heart for it's just fucking weirdness. It's one of those old, like, EGA games that would just give me, like, weird dreams, and it's kind of special. I might do a fan mod of Keen Dreams called Gold Edition, I think. Because it rebalances some stuff and it adds some cut content, and there's music, which Keen Dreams doesn't have. I'll explain that when I get to it. So maybe I'll play a bit of vanilla Keen Dreams and then switch over to it. I don't know. I don't even know when we're gonna get to Dreams, because I gotta get through Galaxy first, and I don't like burning through a series of games I really like so quickly. What's the most obscure game you'd like to do this year that you think probably no one else will really know? Oh man, that's a good question. Because a lot of the playthroughs, Fantasy 2. A lot of the playthroughs that I planned, where it was like, this is what I'm doing in 2025, and I put it in the whole presentation. You know, generally those were like bigger things, where I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a project. But there are some random DOS games that I might throw in at some point, some of which are pretty obscure. I want to do the frickin' Kellogg's platformer, because that's a nostalgic game. You get to play as Tony the Tiger and 3 other mascots from Kellogg's. And it's got pretty good music. There's just a whole genre of like European commercial shareware games, like shareware games that were commercials for products. Like, you know, the catalog is what I mentioned. There was a Yogo platformer. Yogo is like a like a soft drink from the Netherlands, and that game is fucking trippy because the commercials were trippy. I'll explain that when I get to it. There was a whole bunch of freaking shareware point and click adventures from Germany that were just like commercials for like snacks or the phone company, or was that one video game that was just marketing for Skittles? I don't know that one. But now I'm thinking about that fucking ice cream game that Vine Sauce Joel played, where someone like turned the intro video into like ear rape. Which is a stupid thing to do, but like the results are pretty funny. Oh, there was that. Oh, what the hell is this? I'm looking at the Skittles game. What the fuck? What is this? How would this make me want to eat Skittles? It's a fantasy game where you're an elf? What? I'm gonna have to check this out. her gargoyle sidekick, Draak. That's just Dutch for dragon. You know, I want people to do that more. To just take, you know, it's always a thing in fantasy, Ryan, to just take like a word from another language that describes the thing that you're naming, and then it's like, oh, it's cool. They should do that with Dutch more. There are some fun Dutch words that you could use. Okay. Oh, you know what I want to play? I want to play the Konosuba platformer. That's like that looks like Mega Man. I've always wanted to play that game. I think there's a translation for it. There's so many freaking anime tie-in games that aren't available in English, and I'm just like, that would be fun to check out if I could understand what the fuck was going on. Like, there was this Grandcraft game on PS4, I think? And I played the demo of it, and it's so freaking involved, because you got, like, the hack and slash parts, but also you got, like, this part where you're, like, doing strategy to, like, conquer different territories, and you can change the outcomes of the story, and it's just like, whoa! This seems like it would be really cool. It's only in Japanese, and I don't understand what I'm doing. And also the frame rate was awful, but the idea of a janky indie RPG using random Dutch words or arcane incantations. Hey, get yourself a copy of RPG Maker on Steam for cheap, and do it. I've actually been thinking about making an RPG thing, or Maker thing myself. I did it a bunch as a kid, and now I would like to try that again. I know D-Bomb's working on that, something like that too. But we'll talk about that when I get to it. I have several things that I'd like to do first, and there's only so much rosy time in the day. But I think for now, that's it. We're gonna raid Mako, and thank you all very much for watching. Look out for the VOD of this on YouTube soon. I'm gonna be, you know, grafting those two VODs for NES Roundup together, and then Pinball will be separate. Don't forget to tell all your friends about Rosie. Follow me on those things down there. And that includes the stuff in my description bar, like the Discord, the NeoCities. Check that shit out. It's cool. Rosie rolling out. What? What the fuck are you talking about, Eve? Honkball hoofdklasse. Okay. Yeah. Alright, raid. Raid! You wanna raid a channel? Yes! I mean, use is streaming too, but I already said I was... I got a big Mago now. I already said I would. I have too many friends that are streamers.